Okay, this is the second Google tour for environmental sustainability here in Venezuela. So the first place that I'm going to take you guys is called Lago de Maracaibo. Basically, why I'm taking you here is that this lake is super polluted. And it's not a whole lot what the Venezuelans are doing. It's kind of what they aren't doing to actively help this lake become unpolluted, which is definitely a tough task. What's happening is that a lot of oil drilling companies that are particularly U.S. companies, a couple Chinese companies actually, are drilling up here in the Caribbean or near the Gulf of Mexico. And so because all that drilling and looking for natural resources, all the pollution comes through here in the bay and then ends up going into this huge lake that touches, what, one, two, three, four different states here in Venezuela. So it's kind of tough. I mean, right now it's just really threatening where the rainforest is, more of these forested areas here over on the west side. The government hasn't done a whole lot about it except for boycott the different U.S. oil drilling companies, and instead they're just using their own oil because Venezuela's got plenty of resources of their own. The second place that I'm going to take you guys is here, the province of Vargas, or the state of Vargas. Here in 1999, something really crazy happened. There was a huge storm that lasted about 2.5 days with torrential rains and flash flooding. They killed tens of thousands of people actually. What actually happened is up here on the mountain range, there was so much runoff from the water that it flooded on this side. Not so much here in Caracas, the capital, but here over on this side where a lot of the capital of Vargas is, and killed about 10% of the whole state. I mean, there were places that were under 10 feet of mud, which is insane. And then there were little towns like there was one called Cerro Grande, and then Carmen de Uria that got completely swept away. So basically what happened was that the government came out with new evacuation plans for when that's supposed to be happening because they didn't really have much of a way out because they're right here on the coast. So it's not like they could run away too far from it, which was definitely sad. And they also upped their response efforts from here in the capital of Caracas. So the third place I'm going to take you is a place where deforestation had been. It's not currently happening right here in this spot, but it's happening over in Venezuela a lot. It's obviously illegal. The government outlawed that and made it illegal, but there are still people who go and they burn down different parts of the rainforest because about 54% of the total territory of Venezuela is mostly rainforest. So it's kind of crazy. There's so much land that can be used there for good, but just people like to tear it down and burn it to build different housing communities, build, basically put whatever they want, new crops. They're not using it correctly. So what Venezuela did, for a while they weren't being so active about that, but then they came out with something called Mission Arbol. And basically what that is, I'm taking you here because this is one of the locations that they could look for. Mission Arbol is basically where Venezuela, the government, assigns committees of people that go, and they're actually volunteers, committees of volunteers. So they assign them to an area where deforestation has happened, and they are there to tend to greenhouses and to tend to hectares with, I mean, essentially what the whole plan entails is over 4 million different trees. So this started back in 2006. They're seeing pretty good results with it. As of right now, they only have 1,900 committee members, but they're hoping to up that in future legislation, but it's kind of all been put on pause. Last place I'm going to take you is where the Ministry of Agriculture and Land is located, and it's actually here in Merida. This is one of the few, I guess you could call, organizations of the government that isn't located in Caracas. So that's definitely a plus because it's close to um, so it's not located in Caracas, where most of the government agencies are actually located. It's located at more, I guess you could say, centralized to the country, not up just north where most of the urbanization is. So that's good news because they have a little bit more influence on where the Amazon is and where a lot of the deforestation is happening, which is more towards the southeast and more here towards the west on the border of Colombia. So that basically wraps it up. Hope you liked it. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.